far so good.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Good morning.
How's it going? Good, good. Hey, I wanted to ask you some questions. I know you sent me documentation to prove that you actually worked at Evergreen Air's facility. Um, that's pretty impressive. I haven't actually talked to anyone that's worked there. And I was hoping you would tell us a little bit about what you did there and the kind of things that you saw going on around the facility, and anything that's important or prudent, and anything pertaining to chemtrail technology or anything else going on. I've also done a lot of research, and I have seen that they have some strange craft over there. They have like little black jets. I don't know what they are. And they have something that looks almost like a spaceship or something at that facility. And I was wondering if you could fill us in on any of that. And go ahead.
I was not an employee. I was a civilian contractor for uh, Evergreen Air Services there in Marana. And while I was there, I had several different job descriptions. The first of which was a civilian aircraft, and it was outfitted as a civilian aircraft, 727-200 series, in which repairs were effected to the 727 structural overhaul. That's the documentation that I was able to show you. Naturally, any form of black bag work or clandestine operations, they're not going to give you a they're obviously not going to give you a letter of recommendation for things that supposedly never happened. But as far as Evergreen is concerned, for those who don't know, it's about 20-25 miles west of Tucson on I-10 on the south side of the interstate. It's within about a mile or so off of the beaten path, but you can still see the aircraft and the building and facilities there from the interstate as you drive by from, say, for instance, Tucson to Phoenix. It's east of Eloy and west of Tucson. The majority of the personnel there at Evergreen prefers to hire ex-military personnel. They do not like civilians working there en masse. The only time that they bring in civilians is when they're in a pinch for personnel that are capable, or if they are in a pinch for people with certain expertise above and beyond their standard personnel that are there. As far as the CIA connection, Evergreen is a rather interesting place. While I was there in 1991, the main and large issue that was going on there is that Evergreen had a contract, and it should be noted that two different entities at the time had a contract with NASA within issue of the NASA 747 space shuttle carriers, of which there are 3 of them. The other one is D. Howard Corporation in San Antonio, Texas, which is now a subsidiary that was bought out by Singapore Airlines, Singapore Aerospace. That's getting off into another tangent. I'll just leave that as a mention. But all of the overhaul and repair work, maintenance work on the NASA 747 shuttle carriers is performed there at Evergreen. They have a bullpen there at the southeast end of the runway, in which those 747s are pulled into a chained and razor-wired fence. Only certain personnel are allowed to go out there to pull parts off of the aircraft or to perform work on the aircraft. I was one of the individuals working in the sheet metal shop that received parts off of those aircraft, performed the repairs, and then sent them out to with the ex-military personnel to reinstall them on the aircraft. But, did work on 727s there, which were, the 727s were in fact civilian-seated non-cargo aircraft used for transporting people, and naturally the NASA work was done there. Also, at that particular time, and I have no proof of this, again, the paperwork that I provided you with was for the work that I did on the 727, which was nothing black ops, nothing black bag, nothing clandestine about that 727. It just shows that I was there during that particular time frame. During that time, there were 5 747s, of which I was a crew member, a maintenance crew member, which retrofitted 5 cargo 747s with, how shall I put this, the cargo bays were retrofitted, overhauled, repaired with liquid storage tanks with capabilities of, what's the word I'm looking for? Discharge. Now, naturally, one could presume that there was issues with firefighting of that nature up in the north in Montana and also in California. But somebody doesn't take a $200 million 747, much less 5 of them, and retrofit them for liquid discharge in massive quantities